From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for The Debate.
Debate at 10, powered by Kentaro, Nourish and Kurlon Mattress.
Thank you for staying with us on The Debate. A quick reminder to all our viewers that Arnab Goswami will be back on the show tomorrow night. And on to our debate number 2 tonight. The Tripura Faceoff has shifted to Delhi, with Trinamool Congress MPs taking the fight straight to the Ministry of Home Affairs doorstep.
We in fact saw instances of violence in Tripura all through Sunday, marking a bloody campaign for the Tripura civic polls. I spoke to a Trinamool Congress parliamentarian, Shushmita Dev. Here's that exclusive interview. The political face-off between the Trinamool Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party in Tripura has just intensified. You've had Trinamool Congress leader, an actor Shayani Ghosh, who was arrested by the Tripura police. There have been heated exchange of words between both the parties. Joining me on this broadcast is senior Trinamool Congress parliamentarian, Ms. Shushmita Dev. Ms. Dev, thank you very much for speaking to Republic TV. Let me straight away begin by asking you, you are there on the ground making an assessment of what's really happening. Number of visits that you've made over the last several weeks. I want to begin by asking you, what's your assessment? What is really happening on the ground in Tripura?
You see, what is actually happening on the ground is Trinamool is concentrating in Tripura in a big way, as you know. So our campaign is big, our efforts are even bigger, which is hurting the BJP. And rather than taking us on democratically, in the ballot box, they are basically using their muscle power to intimidate us, to threaten our workers, our candidates, our leaders, right from Abhishek Banerjee to me to Shayani Ghosh. It is a complete abuse of power. We don't get permissions for any meetings. They cancel it last minute. So it's complete misuse and abuse of the state administration and police that is happening here. It's very, very unfortunate. Because it's not just about two political parties, fighting it out, but it's impacting the life of the general people. Breaking down houses at night, the common man being, harassed. All of this is going on. So as you know, we've moved the Supreme Court, and then we also moved a contempt because they have failed to provide us security. Yesterday, the police station was vandalized twice while we were in the police station. We moved the Supreme Court, which gave us a protection order, and yet we've had to file more than 11 FIRs and no arrests have been made. So it's definitely not fair play.
Let me then also ask you, your party colleague, Abhishek Banerjee, who spoke to the media, said, and I quote, "What's happening in Tripura has never happened anywhere in India." Now, the BJP is alleging that, look here, what really happened in West Bengal. So they are saying that the same kind of thing transpired in West Bengal and it's now happening in Tripura. So they are saying that you started this game and now this is what is happening. That's the allegation that has been leveled against your party.
See, you are a neutral journalist. My first reaction to what the BJP is saying is the BJP saying tit for tat, and is that allowed as per the law of this country? Number two, the Human Rights Commission has, taken action in West Bengal, CBI, this, that. I believe that this is a wrong narrative. This is a wrong narrative, and let the investigation happen. But this is no argument for one party to say, you have done this there, so now we are doing this here. That's rubbish. Every video we've released, every picture we've released is showing TMC workers being beaten and intimidated in Tripura. BJP has not been able to show a single video of Trinamool Congress indulging in any kind of illegal activity. And can you say in West Bengal this happened, so we are going to do this Tripura? That statement itself calls for arrest of the person who's saying that. And if things like that happened in West Bengal, Amit Shah campaigned in West Bengal, central ministers campaigned in West Bengal, their hotels were not raided. They could rent cars and move around. We are unable to check into a hotel. Nobody is renting us cars because they've broken around 100 cars over the last 1.5 months. This never happened in West Bengal. I mean, you can't say that's a wrong argument. I think it's totally a narrative that the BJP is trying to say, which is inherently wrong.
Well, that's an argument that has been put forth by the BJP. Perhaps a BJP person can answer that. But let me just put this out. There are certain facts that I would like to present before you and some allegations that have been leveled. And the reason why I'm asking you is that I want you to counter them, because a straight allegation against your leader, one leader, Anirban Sarkar, is said to have attacked some BJP activists with sharp weapons. Now, the BJP is saying, how can the TMC essentially play a victim card? You have your leaders on the ground carrying out attacks, allegedly carrying out these attacks. That's what the BJP claims. What is it that you would like to say?
See, this Anirban Sarkar's case, he's the guy whose photograph we released where he's got a big gash at the back of his head. So you arrest Anirban because he allegedly attacked somebody. Have they made any arrests of the people who attacked Anirban? See, what is happening is there are FIRs on both sides and the police is consistently arresting our people, charging them with attempt to murder. We are having to take bail on a daily basis, but there are absolutely no arrests on the FIRs that we have filed. And that's why we've gone to the Supreme Court and the matter is listed tomorrow for contempt of court. So how can you keep arresting our people and the FIRs we are filing? You're not arresting anybody. Whereas their grievous bodily injury, their head injuries, people have broken their arms and legs, their medical reports. No arrests are happening of BJP workers. If there's a clash and there's a fight between two sides, can you just arrest one side? And every time, I'm saying every time there's been unrest and violence, it's some possession of ours that is attacked. It is some leader of ours, our convoys are attacked. Can any BJP leader in Tripura say that we've attacked them? No. But Abhishek Banerjee has been attacked, Kunal Ghosh has been attacked, I have been attacked, I have given videos, no arrests. There are head injuries involved, no arrests. It's totally one-sided. If you think anyone is doing anything wrong, then make arrests on both sides, now.
You have a fair point. Ms. Dev, you have certainly a fair point, but then you would have the BJP coming up and essentially saying that when the polls were taking place in West Bengal, you've had their central leaders, starting from JP Nadda coming under attack. Then you also had Dilip Ghosh coming under attack. And now it turns out that your senior leaders who are now visiting the state of Tripura are also coming under similar sort of an attack. We do not know who's really behind it. We're not going to come to any sort of conclusion as far as this is concerned. But what appears, Ms. Dev, is that whenever the Trinamool Congress and the BJP are fighting an election, it turns out to become a bloody warfare on the ground.
I mean, you are comparing West Bengal and Tripura. But what I want to tell you is, like, can any national party say, oh, this is what you did in West Bengal, so now this is what we're going to do in Tripura? You see, please understand, in West Bengal,
absolutely
my
not.
information is 21...
I agree. That's not the narrative. That shouldn't be the narrative.
21
that shouldn't be the narrative.
21 people who were injured in West Bengal, seriously injured. 21 people who were seriously injured. 16 of them are from Trinamool Congress in West Bengal. So it's a question of fact. But that doesn't mean you can deny what they are doing in Tripura. There are videos. We've posted it. It's blatant. They don't even bother covering their phase 2 attack anymore. And Tripura police is totally biased. So many FIRs, not a single arrest. Is everything false? And Shiny Ghosh says Khela hobe and you arrest her for attempt to murder with no victims. What kind of bias is this? You and I can keep arguing about it. The fact is, we can't even get a hotel room. We can't get a hotel room in Tripura. We can't get a car in Tripura. Everybody's scared to host us or even give us a car because they've vandalized more than 100 cars that we are using.
One quick question is, Dev, I know you are also running out of time because, somewhere down the line, what the BJP is essentially saying is that the TMC cannot be absolved. They're saying when 19 people, including 2 police personnel, were injured in Tripura's Kowai district on 19th of November, 5 BJP workers were injured, including 4 from your party. At the end of the day, they're saying that Trinamool Congress cannot be absolved from the crimes that are being committed. Now, that's the allegation. One final question to you.
Okay, let me tell you, why is there police non-action on our FIRs? 15 of our candidates, their homes have been vandalized. Can BJP say any of their candidates' homes have been vandalized? 6 people withdrew because of threat from the BJP that you can't stand from Trinamool Congress. This is all reality, and I invite you to come to Tripura once. Please come to Tripura once and ask the general people what's happening. They'll tell you. They'll stand testimony to BJP's anarchy. You don't have to ask me. Just come to Agartala and talk to general people. They have BJP has something called bike bahinis, where hundreds of boys in helmets and sticks get onto bikes and just vandalize whatever they want and whenever they want. That's what's happening here. You people, national media needs to visit here and have a look at what's happening. It is absolutely unbelievable what is happening.
Well, thank you
Thank you. Thanks a lot for covering this issue.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dev, for taking all the questions. Thank you very much.
Joining us on the debate tonight, Pratima Bhaumik. Pratima Bhaumik is the Union Minister of State, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, also a parliamentarian from West Tripura. And then we go straight to the face-off, where Sanju Verma is joining us, national spokesperson of the BJP, Ratan Sharda, political analyst and author, Riju Datta, spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress, and Subir Bhaumik, senior journalist, joining us live from Kolkata. Take a couple of questions from Pratima Bhaumik. Pratima Bhaumik ji, what's going on in Tripura? Both sides have to face questions. BJP and the Trinamool Congress will have to face questions because the pictures, the videos, all of them suggesting, Pratima ji, कि TMC पे भी अटैक हुआ है. You can't deny the fact that TMC has also been attacked.
नमस्ते.
नमस्ते.
त्रिपुरा में किसी टीएमसी के ऊपर अटैक नहीं हुआ. त्रिपुरा में टीएमसी आईपैक के साथ, आईपैक उसका डायरेक्टर है और टीएमसी का जो लीडर है, जिसको हम बोर्गी बोलते हैं, लुटेरा बोलते हैं त्रिपुरा का लोग, उसको बोर्गी शब्द हम बोलते हैं उसको, सेकंड इन कमांड. और त्रिपुरा में एक सोचे समझे साजिश के साथ त्रिपुरा में आए हैं, क्योंकि 2021 का जो मई महीने का 2 तारीख को विधानसभा का चुनाव के बाद जो रिजल्ट आया, रिजल्ट के बाद कितने लाखों के कार्यकर्ता को बेघर किया है, कितने महिला के ऊपर बलात्कार किया है, कितने कार्यकर्ता को कत्ले आम किया है. अभी बंगाल में वो जो एनआरकी को किया है, लोगों के ऊपर अत्याचार किया है, त्रास किया है, लोगों को लूटा है, मारा है, उसको छुपाने के लिए, अपना मुंह छुपाने के लिए त्रिपुरा को सॉफ्ट टारगेट में लिया है. वो जिस दिन त्रिपुरा में आए हैं, नाइफ लेके घूमता है, चाकू लेके घूमता है, किसी लोगों को, महिला लोग भी डंडा लेके, हमारे कार्यकर्ता को मोटरसाइकिल को खड़ा में रहते हैं तो उसको तोड़ता है, थाने में खुआई में जाके पुलिस के साथ बदतमीजी करता है. उसका कल्चर है बदतमीजी है, वो बदतमीजी उसका ब्लड में है. और हमारी त्रिपुरा को, जो त्रिपुरा में पिछले 3.5 सालों में जो मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हमारी सरकार मिला है, 25 साल बाद सीपीएम से हमने सरकार लाया है लोगों को आशीर्वादों से, तो उस सरकार को बदनाम करने के लिए माननीय विप्लव कुमार देव जी का जो सरकार है, हमारी सरकार जो लोगों के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, उस सरकार को बदनाम करने के लिए, वो वोट करने के लिए, संगठन करने के लिए नहीं आए हैं. वहाँ पे गुंडागर्दी करने के लिए आए हैं, वहाँ को माहौल को खराब करने के लिए आए हैं. और भी इलेक्शन हुआ है त्रिपुरा में हमारी सरकार आने के बाद, कोई भी ऐसा न्यूज़ आप लोगों को मिला है क्या? उन लोग प्लान माफिक यहाँ पे एक बदतमीजी करने के लिए, गुंडागर्दी करने के लिए वहाँ पर आए हैं. वेस्ट बंगाल का जो गुंडागर्दी उन्होंने करते हैं, संसद में भी तो क्या क्या काम करते हैं, हरकत करते हैं, आप सबको पता है. तो उसको छुपाने के लिए और त्रिपुरा को बदनाम करने के लिए वो लोग ऐसा बात करते हैं। और हमारे त्रिपुरा के लोगों को तो मेंढक का कुएं के मेंढक बोलते हैं हम लोगों को। हम छोटे स्टेट है, इसलिए हम नॉर्थ ईस्ट है, इसलिए इतना मतलब बदनामी हम लोगों को झेलना पड़ रहा है। हम नॉर्थ ईस्ट का लोग थोड़ा भावुक होते हैं, हमारी उसी सॉफ्ट कॉर्नर को उन लोगों ने हिट करते हैं। हम लोगों को मेंढक बोलता है, जो हम कुआ का मेंढक है, वो बड़ा जगह का लोग है।
प्रतिमा जी, रीजू दत्ता हमारे साथ है। रीजू दत्ता, let me then ask you this question. You've heard what the union minister had to essentially allege. Why is it that every time there is a fight between both the parties, the BJP and the Trinamool Congress, it turns out to become like this, violent in nature? On the one hand, you have the BJP essentially saying that, look here, this has never happened in the history of Tripura in the past. The moment Trinamool Congress actually ventures in, this is what happens, Riju Datta.
Should I remind your viewers and should I remind the Honorable Minister sitting here about the Gujarat model of 2002? So it is in their DNA. Violence, culture is in their DNA. And I have heard my Honorable Minister, but yes. Yeah, go on.
Can we just stick to what is happening right now in Tripura?
Go on, please.
Yeah, can we just stick to what's happening in Tripura,
No,
Riju? Because
you have to
the union minister is alleging. Let me just put out
हमारे डीएनए में महिला को बलात्कार करने का नहीं है।
You need to let me
लाखों
speak.
महिला को बलात्कार किया है आप लोगों ने।
You let me speak, okay? If you give BJP the time, give TMC the courtesy of time as well, please. And when the union minister, I don't know.
Riju, you forgot your parliamentarian. Beginning of the debate. Riju, don't make these. Don't make these allegations right now. Your parliamentarian was also given equal amount of time. So don't make these allegations. You want to make a point, make a point.
Yes, but yes. So please, yes. So don't. So yes, so let me make my point and please don't interrupt me. So when the union minister here from BJP alleges that it is our culture, that is why I was reminding the viewers of the Gujarat model of 2002. Now I with all due respect want to know whether the union minister is privy to a TV channel or not, because the entire country has seen the murder of democracy, the double engine disaster and the complete anarchy that was unleashed by the goons of Biplab there yesterday. Journalists, your fraternity, journalists were beaten up, doctors were beaten up. Tripura police have become bonded laborers of BJP in there. What my parliamentarian said, I want to ask the same question. When you are making arrest on Trinamool Congress, we have filed more than 150 FIRs. Have you made one single arrest? They said that we are doing violence culture. 11 of our women candidates have been manhandled and beaten up.
But she's
How
saying,
many houses have been broken up? It is all out in the media.
Riju.
The country has watched it.
Riju, she says...
Has the country not seen the black helmet goons?
Facts.
Have they not seen the bike goons?
Let's go by the
country
facts.
has seen it.
Yeah, let's go by the facts. I'll ask the minister once again because the minister is live on the debate. Pratima Bhaumik ji, आप बोल रहे हैं कि attacks हुआ ही नहीं, right? I have ये जो reports है, मैं आपको reports बोलूँगा और आप बताइए कि ये reports सच है, गलत है, क्या है, fake news है, क्या है? ये जो TMC का State Unit Steering Committee का chief जो है, सुबल भौमिक, बागाबान ठाकुर चौमुनी एरिया अगरतला में वहाँ पे अटैक हुआ था, उसका एक वीडियो आया था। दूसरा चीज़, एक और अटैक हुआ था टीएमसी वर्कर्स पे, ये जीबी हॉस्पिटल विंग में एडमिट हुए थे टीएमसी वर्कर्स, उसका भी एक रिपोर्ट आया था। तीसरा ये था कि ये सायोनिज घोष का कार जो सराउंड करके वो जो हल्ला हुआ था, उसका भी एक वीडियो था। तो क्या आप ये बोल रहे हैं कि जो भी ये रिपोर्ट्स आ रहे हैं ये फेक न्यूज़ है, ये प्लांट से तृणमूल कांग्रेस का उनके स्पोक्सपर्सन है, बताइए कि ये सच है झूठ है?
जो माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी का सभा, इलेक्शन का चुनाव का जो सभा चल रहे थे, उसके आगे से सायनी घोष जिसका नाम बोला है आपने, उन्होंने उसके आगे से गाड़ी को इतना तेज चलाया, लोगों को 3-4 लोगों को इंजर्ड भी हुआ है। उन लोगों ने सबको प्लांट करके ऐसा काम किया है। जो सुबल भूमि के घर में जो हुआ है ना, आप देखिए उन लोगों ने थाने में इतना एनर्की किया है, जो भी थाना में एक व्यक्ति को बुलाया 10-15 व्यक्ति जाके थाना में खुद हल्ला किया है। खोए में भी हल्ला किया है। सुबल भूमि के घर में जो
प्रतिमा जी जो निरंजन भी आपको सवाल ये कर रही थी, प्रतिमा जी मैं रिजू को भी लेके आऊंगा इसमें, बट प्रतिमा जी एक
मंत्री जी से
रिजू जस्ट गिव मी अ मिनट, लेट मी टेक दिस, रिजू जस्ट गिव मी अ सेकंड, जस्ट गिव मी 30 सेकंड। प्रतिमा जी मैं आपसे एक सवाल करना चाहूंगा, ये देखिए जब ये कहते हैं कि अपने स्टेट कन्वीनर के घर पर घुसकर कुछ लोग वहां पे तोड़फोड़ करते हैं, वहां पे तृणमूल कांग्रेस के जो फ्लैग्स पड़े हुए थे वो बिखरे पड़े हुए थे, तो कैसे कह सकते हैं कि कहीं ना कहीं कुछ नहीं हुआ था? कुछ तो आखिर हुआ था। आप ये कैसे कह सकते हैं कि कुछ भी नहीं हुआ था वहां पे? और क्या आपको नहीं लगता कि एक तरह से निष्पक्ष जांच होनी चाहिए? क्योंकि एक तरह से मैसेज तो गलत ही जा रहा है, इसमें दो पार्टियों के बीच में लोग को ही सफर करना पड़ेगा। प्रतिमा जी
मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ, आपने देखा है कुछ देर पहले आपके चैनल में मैंने देखा एक तृणमूल का झंडा लेके सुबल भूमि के घर के सामने ऐसा कर रहे थे। उन लोगों ने आपस में लड़ाई में हुआ है, कुछ नहीं हुआ, हम लोगों ने कुछ नहीं किया। वो आपस में तृणमूल में प्लान करके सिंपैथी लेने के लिए लोकल
तो आप कह रहे हैं कि तृणमूल खुद अपने, प्रतिमा जी आप कह रहे हैं कि तृणमूल खुद अपने ऑफिस में घुसकर खुद तोड़फोड़ कर रही है,
खुद कर रहे हैं,
Riju, respond. The allegation leveled against you by the union ministers that you yourself are doing this only for publicity.
उसने गाड़ी को तेज चलाया, सब लोग प्लान करके ऐसा काम करते हैं।
I'll ask मंत्री जी some questions. I'm sure I'll ask her in Hindi. माननीय मंत्री जी ये बेतुकी बातें हम थोड़ा साइड में रख के मैं आपसे कुछ सवाल पूछता हूं। पहला चीज, अगर आप कहते हैं कि ये सारा चीज तृणमूल कांग्रेस कर रहा है और सब नाटक है, तो आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं कि माननीय गृह मंत्री को भी पता नहीं है जो उन्होंने समय देके आपके मुख्यमंत्री से रिपोर्ट मांगा है कि बताइए क्यों वायलेंस हो रहा है, तो माननीय गृह मंत्री को भी आप झूठा कहला रहे हैं? पहला बात। दूसरा चीज, आपको पता है कि कुछ दिनों पहले सुप्रीम कोर्ट जो इस देश का सबसे बड़ा न्यायालय है, उन्होंने आपको आदेश दिया था और आपके मुख्यमंत्री को आदेश दिया था कि जो अपोजिशन पार्टी है उनको भी उनका कार्यक्रम करने दिया जाए। तो आपने तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का भी तौहीन किया, सुप्रीम कोर्ट को भी ठेंगा दिखा दिया आप लोग। और तीसरी बात, आप जो शायनी घोष के बारे में बोल रहे हैं, आपके ऑफिसर ने बोला है हमने उनको अरेस्ट किया है खेला हौबे बोलने पे। तो अगर खेला हौबे बोलने पे अरेस्ट किया जा सकता है, तो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री और माननीय गृह मंत्री बंगाल सफर में इलेक्शन में खेला हौबे बोला था, तब क्या उनको भी अरेस्ट करना चाहिए? ये बेतुकी बातें छोड़िए मंत्री जी, मैंने आपसे 3 छोटे-छोटे सवाल पूछा है, आप ये छोटे सवालों का जवाब दीजिए कि आपने क्यों सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर का तौहीन किया? बहुत लंबा सवाल है रिजू दत्ता, लेट अस रिस्पॉन्ड। हेलमेट पहन के लोगों को मार रहा है, पीट रहा है, कुछ नहीं। मैंने 3 simple questions. Why they disregarded the Supreme Court? Number 2, why
she's responding? Okay, don't repeat your question. She heard it.
The minister is lying on TV and why
she heard your questions.
हम लोगों ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट का तौहीन नहीं किया, हम लोगों ने त्रिपुरा सुप्रीम कोर्ट का तौहीन नहीं किया। सुप्रीम कोर्ट का हम सम्मान करते हैं। उन लोगों ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट में झूठ बोला। जो तृणमूल कांग्रेस का जो सेकंड इन कमांड उनका अभिषेक बनर्जी त्रिपुरा में आया था, उसका कोर्ट में उन्होंने हियरिंग किया था। रात को 12 बजे हियरिंग करके उसको सभा करने के लिए उनको समय दिया गया। उन लोगों ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट में झूठी हलफनामा दाखिल किया है, जो त्रिपुरा का हाई कोर्ट हियरिंग नहीं लिया। उन्होंने झूठ बोला है, झूठ पे ऊपर झूठ बोलना शुरू किया है, क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट को भी उन लोगों ने ठेंगा नहीं है, उन लोगों ने झूठा बात रखा है। और उन्होंने जो शायनी घोष के बारे में बताया, खेला हबे हम लोगों का बात नहीं है, आप लोगों ने खेला हबे बात बोला था। खेला हबे बात बोल के चुनाव के बाद पश्चिम बंग में खेलाई हो रहा है, लाखों महिला का इज्जत के साथ खिलवाड़ हो रहा है, लाखों लोग घर के बेघर है।
आपका अगरतला हाई कोर्ट ने शायनी घोष को बेल दिया,
वेस्ट बंगाल ने पुलिस का सुनिए, पुलिस को
क्या बातें कर रहे हैं, कोई मतलब नहीं है आपका बात का मंत्री जी।
अरे सुनिए,
आप बेतुकी बातें कर रहे हैं, बात को भटकाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। देश ने देखा है आप लोगों ने कैसे अत्याचार किया है।
आप लोग उतर आए हैं, हमारे त्रिपुरा को बदनाम करने के लिए साजिश रचा है, क्योंकि आप लोग पिछले 4-5 महीने में, अरे आपका हमारा पुलिस को आप बोल रहे हैं ना, आपका मुख्यमंत्री ने पुलिस को बचाने के लिए, सीबीआई से बचाने के लिए पुलिस के लिए धरना देते हैं। ऐसा सरकार आप लोग चलाते हैं, हम लोग ऐसा नहीं करते। हमारे स्टेट में पुलिस काम करता है, वो हमारे स्टेट में संभव है, इसीलिए आप बाहर से आके हजारों लोग आप बाहर से आके गुंडागर्दी पैदा किया है।
रिजू दत्ता, एक मिनट, रिजू दत्ता, 1 सेकंड, रिजू दत्ता, एक मिनट, प्रतिमा जी, एक मिनट, प्रतिमा जी।
अगरतला में एक व्यक्ति के ऊपर कुछ होगा था,
हाँ,
कोलकाता में 5 व्यक्ति को मारेंगे।
मैं उसको पूछने वाला हूँ, एक मिनट।
और हमारी को कुएं का मेंढक बोलते हैं आप लोग, हम छोटे लोग बोलते हैं आप लोग, क्या समझते हैं आप लोग? त्रिपुरा को बदनाम करने के लिए सोच से समझे साजिश है, पार्टी को बदनाम करने के लिए उन लोगों ने।
अरे आप लोगों का मंत्री जी, आपका टाइम खत्म हो गया त्रिपुरा में, छोड़िए, और तो आधा साल का बात है, ठीक है।
Okay, no, 1 second.
Expiry date
no, Riju Datta, 1 minute. I want to bring in. No, 1 second. No, even you have to face questions, Riju. 1 second. It's not that simple. Ratan Chadhan, I'll bring in Ratan.
आपका expiry date 5 साल पहले होगा, देख लीजिए.
I'm here to face questions.
No, and you know, 1 second. Subir Bhomik, I'm getting in Subir Bhomik. Okay, I'm getting in Subir Bhomik and Ratan Sharda. Subir Bhomik, can the Trinamool Congress? Subir Bhomik is a senior journalist. I'll ask him a few questions. No, you can't say that Trinamool Congress has just gone there. Very innocent, just trying to campaign and they're being attacked, because there has been provocation from both sides, right? For example, can the TMC absolve itself completely when 19 people were injured in Tripura's Khowai district 3 days ago, including 2 police personnel and 5 BJP workers? And is it a fact or not, Subir Bhomikda, when BJP activists were attacked with sharp weapons, they were attacked with sharp weapons led by some man called Anirban Sarkar, set fire on motorbikes owned by BJP activists allegedly in Kalitilla on Wednesday night. So aren't they also responsible? Subir Bhomik and then Ratan Sharda will respond.
Well, I'm not Trinamool Congress, so
yeah, senior journalist. For me, your observations.
Let me first correct you. Yeah, I'm a senior journalist here, but I don't hold brief for any political party. That's number one. Number two, I belong to Tripura, so I know that damn place very well. Okay? And number three, let me make this very clear. You know, you said somewhere in the program that when Trinamool and BJP fight, it becomes a battle. Let me point out to you that Tripuran politics has a violent tradition. I began my career in Tripura and I have seen CPIM MLA Gautam Datta killed, Congress MLA Parimal Shah killed. In 1988, when the Congress made a very strong bid and finally came to power, ousting the left front, in 1 month before the election, in the 1 month, 32 days actually, 110 people were killed. Okay? And this was fighting between Congress, CPIM, and of course the insurgent groups which were sort of doing bidding for various different political parties. So this kind of violence we are accustomed to in Tripura. The thing is, there is a drop in violence when the political system there gets one-sided. For a long period when the left front completely dominated Tripura, well, there was no real reason for violence. They knew they were going to win and they were going to come back. So the present violence, and then the BJP came to power in 2018. The present violence is because there is a growing sense of competition in the system, an acute sense of competition. The BJP feels that the Trinamool, after their victory in West Bengal, is making a very strong effort to, upset their apple cart in Tripura, and they are trying to hold on to their gains made in 2018. And the Trinamool, of course, is making a very strong effort to make a dent into that. And therefore, you see this kind of violence erupting. So whenever there has been strong political competition in Tripura, like in Bengal, you have seen an upsurge in violence. And therefore, you have to understand that this is not something that's happening just because the Trinamool and the BJP are there. In fact, let me make this very clear to you. Tripura traditional politics is Congress versus CPIM with few tribal parties here and there. BJP is also new to Tripura and so is Trinamool Congress. The BJP came to power in 2018, but most of the BJP leaders in Tripura, as you see them today, are Congress people. Yeah, except Biplab them, except perhaps Pratima Bhomik, yes. Some of them have RSS background, but most of them are from Congress. And same also in other states of Northeast. So let's get this perspective right. Tripura has seen upsurge of violence whenever there has been very strong political competition, and I think as the countdown to the next assembly election begins, and these civic elections are seen as some kind of a semi-final, to quote a football term, there is an upsurge of violence. And the fact is that if no opposition party, no opposition candidate can file nominations
Right.
in 1/3 of the seat,
Mr. Bhaumik,
and
I'm running out of
believe
time.
that this is because they don't have candidates.
Mr. Bhaumik, I'm running out of time. Let me just at least quickly get a word from Ratan Sharda also, and Sanju Verma is also joining in. Sanju, just give me a minute. Mr. Ratan Sharda has been waiting patiently for a while now. Mr. Sharda, just a response to what Mr. Subir Bhaumik has been pointing out. The fact of the matter is that the moment this kind of a sort of a heated exchange takes place between both the political parties, what is really happening on the ground is that local people are suffering, Mr. Sharda, and somewhere down the line, it is important, it's imperative that some sort of an impartial sort of a investigation actually takes place, exposing who exactly is behind this violence.
I will take off from where Mr. Subir left. Tripura was relieved of the fascist regime of communist without violence. There was peace in Tripura for the entire period since BJP's ruling. And this is very important. The CPM was removed without any violence. But in Bengal, the violent communist rule was removed by violence of TMC. The violence has gone into blood of TMC. It has been so violent all through its rule in Bengal. I will just give an example now to play the victimhood. See, the victimhoods, there are 1,627 cases of violence against scheduled caste as per National Commission of Scheduled Caste. 12 rapes, 20 murders, and hundreds of other cases. 1,348 cases are registered despite blocking of the FIR by TMC people through police stations, through courts, and courts had to put a very strong pressure on TMC. It tried to block the justice, and finally SIT was formed, and they were very badly reprimanded. Today, for them to play victimhood, Sushmita was there on the show. Remember, Sushmita was part of Congress, which itself was browbeaten in Bengal very badly. So this violence that is in the blood of TMC, when they enter Tripura, they start the same game. I must compliment them, though, that it is a lesson for BJP how to protect its workers, whether rightly or wrongly, whether they're hurt or not, how to stand by your workers and create a narrative of being persecuted though you are offenders. So this TMC must be controlled. They need to be seen properly in the light of their behavior for last 20 years before you start putting fingers on BJP.
Yeah. Sanju Verma, this, I know you're coming in late, so I'll ask you the last question, right? Now, there was a comment made today when Trinamool Congress, I think it was Abhishek Banerjee who said what's happening in Tripura has never happened anywhere in India. And then we wondered what happened in Bengal then, the post-poll violence. I mean, something happened, right?
Niranjan, I waited for 35 minutes. I hope I'll be given at least 2 minutes to put my views across. Point number one, I think it is too much for Trinamool Congress to now start playing the victim card. 900 चूहे खाके बिल्ली हज को चली. हाथी के दांत खाने के और दिखाने के और. Let me remind you that, Sushmita Dev said we filed so many FIRs but no arrests were made. Do you remember in July 2021, Niranjan, what the Kolkata High Court said, quoting the National Human Rights Commission? 1,793 FIRs were registered. People were not arrested, and 80% of those who were even arrested were let out on bail in less than 24 hours. And the Chief Justice of Kolkata High Court said that the post-poll violence in Bengal is the worst form of state-sponsored violence, with police turning into mute spectators. And at that time, I remember this so-called Sushmita Dev, who's nothing but a turncoat, she was on a debate with me and she said, we will challenge what the Kolkata High Court said. So basically, you will challenge the Kolkata High Court when the narrative is not in your favor. When a 60-year-old woman said she had been gang raped by Trinamool goons and the case is lying in Supreme Court, Mamata Banerjee, a woman leader herself, instead of showing an iota of regret, actually challenged the Supreme Court. Mamata Banerjee and her goons attacked Atif Rashid, the head of National Human Rights Commission, be it Trilochan Mahato, who was found hanging from a tree, be it Dhunal Kumar, who was found hanging
Okay.
poetry, or be it Abhijit Sarkar, whose body, his last rites were done after 4 months because
I'll-
goons,
Can I
after
give-
hacking him to death, did
Yeah.
not even admit that they killed him. They said उसने तो खुद suicide कर लिया है. So Trinamool is a certified party
Okay.
of goons, vandals.
I'm going to give him 30 seconds to respond to you. 30 seconds. And then I'll end the debate. 30 seconds to you. Riju Datta responding to you for 30 seconds.
Riju Datta has already spoken.
Thank you. I have just one question. I have just.
I'm giving him 30 seconds to respond to you. 30 seconds.
Sanju Verma is over.
Uninterrupted 30 seconds. Okay? 30 seconds to respond to
One
you
simple
specifically. Yes.
question. I will, yes.
Will you talk?
Yes, in that 30 seconds, I have only one question for BJP, for Sanju Verma and for your viewers. That before this election starts, in the civic body elections in Tripura, why is it that 1/3 of the seats are BJP has already won without candidates filing their nomination? Why CPM, Congress and Trinamool candidates were threatened at gun points not to file candidates?
No, you're speaking over each other.
That they
Sorry.
have got 2 slaps from the...
That wasn't really uninterrupted, but we've run out of time anyway.
Have you
And then
even
the High Court will
apologized
intervene.
Okay.
for
That,
delegitimizing Hindus?
it was supposed to be uninterrupted. It was supposed to be uninterrupted. But
I think Sanju Verma's
No.
theatrics are over.
Riju Datta is coming here and spewing shamelessly, and then he expects...
we were hoping to have a
Please answer
Constructive
why
debate.
1/3 of the seats are no candidates. Please answer
10,000
that.
Bengal Panchayat elections are won by TMC without any
have-
There
opposition.
there you go. That's
Who
your
are you to ask
answer.
questions?
You have stabbed BJP youngsters.
There you go. They said we will not have a constructive debate. That is BJP.
You challenge
BJP is exposed.
Okay, run out of time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Completely run out of time. Completely run out of time.